But let's also connect then with Dr. Sharvil Patel, a Managing Director at Zydus Cadila, to understand a little bit more about the treatments that and the progress that is being made with respect to the coronavirus. And thank you so much for taking time out for joining in. Now, there just seems to be a bit of confusion as of now with respect to the certain drugs, the chloroquine, which we understand has been approved for the COVID-19 treatment, but the FDA has clarified that the drug as yet has not been approved. Can you just give us the latest details with respect to the testings and the findings and approvals for the same?
So, ever since January 23rd, when the major outbreak was realized globally, there have been more than 380 plus clinical trials that have been conducted across the world, largely starting with China and then many other markets. Of the many treatments, there are trials that are going on chloroquine, hydroxychloroquine, and hydroxychloroquine with combination with azithromycin. Also, there are trials on drugs called remdesivir and favipiravir. So, multiple trials are going on with multiple doses that have been tried out to test on patients to see. And they have small trials have found results. Specifically, we talk about hydroxychloroquine. A trial in France has shown a good recovery of patients suffering with COVID who become virus free in 10 days. And so there are possible treatments that have been looked at. HCQ is already an approved drug for the treatment of malaria and for also some of the rheumatoid arthritis kind of treatment. So this is a safe approved drug, and I think the global authorities are looking as an effective treatment for combating the COVID or the coronavirus. But there is still work going on this.
So, what is taking US FDA so long to announce this officially? How does the procedure work? Do you think there are human trials which would be done, and if they're done, if human trials are done, then it will take 2 to 3 months, 3 to 4 months? So, do you think whatever breakthrough will happen, it will not happen in before 3 to 4 months?
So our understanding of the situation and what we think is in the next 3 to 4 weeks we would see different forms of treatment protocols being established and treatments being followed, where possibly many of these drugs could become possible choices for the treatment of coronavirus. And as I said, multiple trials are going on, and these are not long duration trials. For the early trials that we have seen, we are seeing the results in as less as 5 days to 10 days, when you're seeing patients who are virus free after the treatment, who already have upper respiratory or lower respiratory tract infection already. So we are seeing with some data that the data is showing that we are seeing results with many of these drugs. So we believe that as more data comes out in the next 3 to 4 weeks, we would definitely see some of these drugs being approved. Not only these, there are many other products, molecules which are currently approved, which are being tested to see if they are effective against coronavirus. And I believe globally, every company or research institute who is able to do any work on this is making a lot of effort. We at Zydus, while we obviously have these drugs and we are working to make sure that we are able to produce these drugs effectively in large quantities, we are also working on a vaccines development for this, which would be the ideal long-term solution for the coronavirus, and also trying out some of our other molecules like peg interferon with ribavirin and others to see if these also could potentially be effective for the treatment of coronavirus.
My next immediate question is that what is the right way for us to look at the current situation? Do you think vaccine is going to be the ultimate solution and the long-term solution, or it's going to be some drug which is available, like in this case, quinine is available, that will be able to find, that would be the appropriate solution?
See, there are two aspects to it. If we talk about treatment, then obviously it will be some drug that will get approved by the different regulators and will be effective for treatment. But if we talk about avoiding the infection through the virus, then obviously vaccines would be the ideal way from the global point of view, because as you have seen for H1N1 and swine flu, these viruses, they are here to stay. So we would have to effectively create vaccines to make sure that we are immunized every year, because that could possibly be the need of the hour, that we need every year vaccination like a flu virus.
On the supply of the virus as well, it's a generic drug. Do you think there's enough? There are only about 7-8 players approved globally. So assuming that those approvals come in, will there be able to have smooth supply and, both A, the quantum, and B, the speed at which it can actually reach people?
So, the pharmaceutical and the healthcare industry has always been very resilient when it comes to being able to effectively produce in times of epidemic or in times of need. So we believe that as an industry, we all are gearing up to make sure that whichever drugs, some of these which become effective, are scaled up in terms of production. So we are able to cater to both our home market and take care of people here, and also globally, because today we are in a global world, and it is important that when as India we contribute to the overall generic industry the way we do, it's important that we make sure that we are able to make this or some of these drugs available when the need arises. So from Zydus's point of view, we are already geared up our production. We are uniquely placed because we are completely backward integrated in terms of starting material as well. So we believe that if the need be, we are already scaling up to 3 times the current requirement, but we will as and when required by the authorities, or as we see the results of the drug on coronavirus patients, we will even be able to scale it up further. So it's a weekly wait and watch thing. Currently we are obviously going to triple or quadruple our capacity, but going forward as the need arises, we will look at that further as well, because the priority of the hour would be to make sure that we produce this versus anything else.
All right, thanks so much for joining us then and taking us through the latest developments on that front. All attempts and all efforts are being made to find an antidote for this flu that's really taken over the world.